Grover Cleveland was president when Frederick Ross came to Denver, Colorado as a 23-year-old suffering from tuberculosis, like so many, looking for a new lease on life. And it worked out famously. He was, granted another 50 years, he used to say, but he very quickly, once he got here, started a real estate business. In terms of his leadership and the difference he made in this community is the way he joined up with the Moffats and the Cheesemans, and there was a group of leaders, business leaders, who really made a difference in the growth and dynamic market and city that we have today.
Frederick R. Ross, a name synonymous with commercial real estate in Denver, not only changed the landscape, but was also an invaluable civic activist, helping develop infrastructures vital to the community.
He's sort of civic-minded, who had these prominent positions, and were always trying to work to build Denver into this, the sort of narrative of Denver continuously to be this like great city. He came here in 1888, got into real estate pretty quickly.
In fact, the company in those days was called Ross Investments, and it was in many ways a holding company. And it did everything. It had insurance division, it had an appraisal division, it was very broadly based, very successful company.
They were one of the few companies that survived the Great Depression. During this time, the Frederick Ross Company actually developed a reputation as a company that helped people prevent foreclosures. So they were not the robber baron of, that you might think of.
He was one of the foremost leaders in expanding Denver, the city limits, and its housing to the east. And we've got these old brochures here begging people to go all the way out to the Denver Country Club to buy lots. He also subdivided and sold and bought Greater Park Hill and Montclair and the property around the Colorado Women's College.
Denver, well into the 20th century, did not have as robust a sewage and water system as you might think.
And he was on the Denver Water Commission, now at the Denver Water Board, but he was a major player in that. In fact, he was president of the Denver Water Board when the Moffat Tunnel, the first West Slope diversion water project, was completed in the 1930s. And that made all the difference. He was involved in the mountain parks. I mean, things that, the boards and things that controlled what happened in the mountain parks with the city of Denver, Red Rocks, Echo Lake, Summit Lake, all those things.
And his best-known contribution, the Denver Public Library System, is still benefiting from the Frederick R. Ross Library Trust he established prior to his death in 1938.
He quickly got involved in redeveloping the Civic Center Park, which up to that point was a slum, and to build a new library building. I mean, he was the guy.
And so he worked with the library, working on the building commissions. He was involved in acquiring a number of our collections that we have. The library is actually one of the chief benefactors of his will, and came away with $50,000, which is it was the equivalent of about $1 million. That's money that was invested pretty well because they're still drawing on that.
I think the difference he made in this community is dynamic, and we're all benefiting from it today.